First of all, welcome to this webinar. My name is Isabel. I'm part of Pipefy's customer success team, and today I'm here to tell you more about how you can use Pipefy for sales and CRM. This webinar is going to work a little bit different than all the other webinars we've done before, because today we're not going to talk about one specific feature. We're going to talk about a whole bunch of features and advanced uses so that you can use Pipefy to manage your entire sales and CRM process. First of all, we need to answer this question. Is it possible to manage sales processes in Pipefy? Yes, it is. Pipefy is a horizontal process management tool. It has a very flexible structure that allows you to manage and customize your processes according to your company's needs. So you can use Pipefy to manage all types of processes, from simple task management to more complex processes that integrate several areas and departments, such as sales would be connected to customer success, and sales would also be connected to accounts receivable, etc. There are many scenarios in which you can integrate processes in Pipefy. We're going to talk about specifically sales operations and customer management today. The problem many companies face when managing their sales operation is the lack of execution standards. Important information is not recorded, or it has to be recorded several times, and it can generate duplicated records and unreliable information. The scenario is that there are no guarantees that the sales team is following the company's playbook, or you can't set clear execution standards. The company needs a flexible system that can easily be integrated with other areas, such as accounts receivable, customer onboarding, etc. There are some operational challenges. Users have to record information more than once. So if they have to create new tasks for the same customer, they have to fill in a lot of information, and that creates an obstacle. There's a whole bunch of systems from different areas that can be integrated properly. That creates another operational challenge. Information is normally spread around different platforms, spreadsheets, email, etc., which causes the information to be duplicated and sometimes unreliable. And there's a huge gap between the solutions that are too simple, such as only managing your sales via email, and more complex ones, vertical systems such as Pipedrive and Salesforce. Why should you manage your sales processes in Pipefy? When you manage your sales or CRM processes in Pipefy, you're going to be able to customize them according to your company's specific needs. Most of the vertical solutions available out there are too stiff and offer few to none customization options. Besides that, Pipefy has a lot of advanced features that enable you to connect processes to create a seamless flow of information, as well as creating company databases, sending automated emails, etc. Managing your sales processes in Pipefy ensures execution standards, so managers can make sure that the company's standards are being followed. So he makes sure the process is consistent and it's safe. It also ensures customization, so your processes are fully customizable to match your company's needs. So your processes are dynamic and very flexible. It ensures control, because you can extract all of your processes information in customizable reports, which generates predictability and transparency, and integration, because you can integrate several processes inside Pipefy using connections. So it gives you agility and centralization. We're going to talk about quite a few advanced features today. The ones we're going to mention today are connection, involving pipes and databases, database, connection field, user roles and permissions, Autofill, automations, email templates, reports, pipe apps, subtitles, and summarize layouts. The first feature we're going to talk about is the connection feature. It enables users to create connections between processes, so you can connect two different processes, and you can connect a process to a database. And it enables you to create tasks such as calls and meetings connected to the sales opportunity cards. So you can see here on this screen that our sales pipeline is connected to an activities pipe. So from any of the phases in the sales pipeline process, we can create a new activity to log a call, a meeting, an email sent, and we can also connect the end of a process to the beginning of another, which is the case of the connection between our sales pipeline and our customer onboarding process. The database feature is very useful when managing customers. It helps build database to store information such as customer or company records. In the process we're going to represent today, we'll use two databases, companies and contacts. so that the users can search and add information to the databases, making it a lot easier to manage customer relationships. The connection field is similar to the connection feature, except that since it's a field, it's connected to a specific phase of your pipe. You can add connection fields to the start form, which is the case of our sales pipeline, or you can add it to any of your processes phases if you want to make it a part of your process to create a connected card in another pipe or to create a database record, etc. So the connection field enables users to create new cards or records or link existing ones to a card. In our example, we'll use two connection fields in the sales pipeline start form to connect company and contact records to the opportunities and easily keep track of the customer sales cycle. We're also going to use a connection field inside the contact database to connect both databases. So whenever you're adding a new contact to your contact database, you're going to have a connection field so that you can select the company from the company database. User roles. Pipefy offers different user roles in only a couple of plans, in only business and enterprise plans, to enable users to have better control over their processes information. We're gonna show you how to use the restricted view role to filter the processes view so that each salesperson or account manager will only access its own opportunities and accounts. The Autofill is an advanced option available when setting up connections or connection fields. It helps optimize your processes by automatically filling in the information in predetermined fields. We're going to use the Autofill in a very specific scenario that when you're creating tasks, meeting, calls, etc. in the activities pipe, we're going to autofill some of the information to help save your time. So the company name is going to be autofilled, as will the company, so that each activity will be connected to the company, and the area is going to be autofilled as either sales or customer success to make it easier to separate the different types of activities in your activities pipe. The automation feature helps save a lot of time and optimize your processes performance. It can be used in many different situations, such as automating a connection between the sales pipeline and the customer onboarding process. So we're gonna demonstrate how you can automate the connection so that whenever a sales opportunity enters the one phase of your sales pipeline, it's gonna automatically create a connected card in the customer onboarding process so that the next team can continue the sales cycle with the person without having to manually transfer information. Email templates. This feature enables users to create email templates to be sent manually or automatically from specific phases of a process. In the sales pipeline, for example, you can send automated follow-up emails with or without dynamic content. We're also going to demonstrate to you guys how to send a welcome email from the customer onboarding process whenever cards enter the welcome phase. Reports. This is a very useful feature, especially when it comes to talking about sales opportunities and the amount of each deal. So this feature enables users to create and save different reports. You can filter the information that's displayed on your screen. It makes it a lot easier to keep track of many relevant metrics to the sales processes, such as each salesperson's performance during the current month, the total amount of all opportunities in the pipeline, the total amount of opportunities in a specific phase, such as proposal, negotiation, etc. The pipe apps help make your process even more dynamic. The one we're going to talk more about today is the calendar view that displays all your cards that have a due date set in a calendar view. So it switches from the Kanban view to the calendar, so you can see which are the due dates of the cards in your pipeline. We're also going to mention native integrations with Slack, so you can set up an integration that sends notifications to your Slack channel whenever a specific action happens in your sales pipeline, and also to Google Hangouts and appear in the subtitles. Pipefy enables users to edit the subtitles within the pipe settings to make it easier to display important or relevant information in the closed card view so that users can access the data without having to open the card. So when you add subtitles to a card, the closed card view, so without having to click on it, you're going to see the title and underneath the title, you're going to see all the information you chose as subtitles. The summarized layout is also a setting that's specific to the pipe or the database. You can edit the summarized layout to choose which information you want to display when the cards or records are connected to a card using a connection or connection field. So you can see here that we have the contact, and the contact's title is Caroline Mendez, and we chose to display her email, her phone number, and the name of the company in the summarized view layout. So our process today. To exemplify how you can use Pipefy to manage sales and CRM processes, we'll demonstrate a simple sales process that encompasses 3 pipes that are connected using the connection feature, sales pipeline, customer onboarding, and activities. The sales pipeline and customer onboarding pipes are primary, and they're both connected to the activity pipe, so they can log every interaction with the customers at any point of the process. Besides the previously mentioned pipes, we'll use 2 databases connected to the pipes using connection fields, company and contact registration. Also, our process structure. The pipes and databases are connected amongst themselves to ensure a continuous flow of information in all stages of the process. To begin with, when creating a new sales opportunity, users can choose the company and contact information from the existing database records or create new ones if the information they're looking for hasn't been registered yet. So it's important to stress that at this point of the process, users can search for the existing records or create new ones. All throughout the sales pipeline's phases, you can use a connection, so the connection can be used in all phases. To the activities pipe, it's set up to automatically fill in some of the information I've mentioned to you guys to keep track of all calls, meetings, and emails exchanged with the potential customer. At the end of the sales pipeline, when the card enters the one phase, we're only going to consider the optimistic scenario here. A new connected card is automatically created using an automated connection in the customer onboarding pipe. So we're going to transfer the relevant information from the sales pipeline to the basic customer onboarding. It's kind of like an automated handoff from the sales team to the customer onboarding team, so that when the customer onboarding process starts, it has all the necessary information from the sales pipeline. The customer onboarding pipe can only search for existing company or contact records. It's only logic that you can't add new records to the databases from this stage because the new customer's records must have been added in the sales pipeline. Also, since we've automated the connection, it transfers both records, both company and contact records, from the sales pipeline to the customer onboarding. So it's only a one-way street, and it only consumes information that already exists in both contact and company database. Just as in the sales pipeline, the customer onboarding pipe is connected to the activities pipe to help keep track of all interactions with the customer. The connections, Autofill, creates cards with the assignee and area information filled in, making it easier to identify activities related to each customer. Okay, as I mentioned to you guys, we have 3 pipes here. The primary sales pipeline, the second also primary basic customer onboarding, and the team activities. The first pipe I'm going to talk to you guys about is the sales pipeline. I'm going to quickly mention the calendar view here. So when you click on calendar, it switches the view from the Kanban to the calendar, and you can quickly see here all cards that have a due date set. So when I click on Google, it opens a card, and you can see that the last due date that was set was the follow-up reminder on November 9th. So it's important to always keep the due date updated to the next task related to this card so that you can easily keep track in the calendar view. Now I'm going to show you guys the connections we talked about. So you can see here connections, and then we have 2 connections. The connection to the activities pipe has the autofill set up. So we come here, click on this gear in advanced options, and you guys can see that the company is automatically filled with the company name. The responsible is always also autofilled with the assignee, and area we created a static value saying sales, so that whenever an activity is logged onto the activities pipe, we can separate activities that are for sales or for customer success. And we also have the customer onboarding. This is a simple connection that we automated it, and I'm going to show it to you guys in a few minutes. You can see here in this pipe start form that both company name and contact name are connected to the databases. We're going to go ahead and create a new company. Now we're going to come here. We see that the record isn't here, so we click on Add New Company X. And we're also going to add a new contact. So we come here and Add New. And we have to choose here from the existing companies. So I'm going to go ahead and we see the company we created. We click here to create a new record, and we also add a sales rep as an assignee. So that will be me, Isabel. I click here to create new, and it's done. So we're going to come down here to find the card we just created. If you click this blue arrow here, you can see that it's connected to a company record and a contact record. That is going to happen to all of our cards. You can see here, the moment I open a card, in the left side of it, it's the company name and the contact name. These are the information from the previous phases. So it's only been through the start form. So it shows the start form information. The thing I wanted to demonstrate to you guys is that we have a couple of automations. You can see here that it says information filled in automatically. That gathers the information from the contact. You can see here the email and the phone number, and that it automatically transfers it into these fields. Why we created those automations is so that we can use this email to send email templates and also to display it in a closed card view. So you can see here, I'm going to show you guys real quick how these automations work. So you can see here, contact email database. I established that when a card is created in the sales pipeline, we automatically update the contact email field with the email from the database. And the same goes for the phone number. So contact phone, whenever a card is created in the sales pipeline, we update a field's value the same field. That way we can automatically transfer the information without having to manually input into another field. I'm going to open it real quick. You guys can see that I have the activities displayed on top. So you can come down here to customize the view of the left side of the card. I chose to display the activities on top just so I can show you guys how it works. So I click here and then I click New. So you guys can see that the company X is already filled in. I can choose the action, so call, meeting, or email. I'm going to log an email here. The date, the responsible is myself. It took the information from the card and it automatically filled the area as sales. So I just go ahead and create it. And then when I go back to the cards view, you can see that the activity is logged here. The reason why we've connected the sales pipeline start form to the databases is to help keep track of all activities cards connected to each customer's record. So whenever we open a customer record, let me just look here real quick on our company database. So let me just go here, company X. So whenever I create on the record, it shows here that it's been mentioned in this card in sales pipeline. So company X, it shows the phase it's in. Also, it's been mentioned in company activities, in team activities, sorry. And it's linked to a contact that is myself. Now we'll go back to the sales pipeline. Remember what I told you guys about the subtitles and the summarized layout? The subtitles, which we've set up here, are deal value, contact name, contact email, and contact phone. And the summarized layout, it's going to be displayed whenever this any card from this pipe is mentioned in either a database record or a connected. And also the summarized layout, which is what's shown when it's connected. So it's amount closed, sales rep, and current phase. We click on save. Also, I'm going to show you guys about the permissions. So whenever we access the members tab of our pipe, I'm an admin and I'm going to choose to set everyone else as restricted view. Okay, you guys can see here that besides that permission, we have a few others. It's important to mention that different permission levels are only available in the business and enterprise plans. So we have 5 different roles. The pipe admin that can create and edit cards as well as manage the pipe settings. The member that can create new cards as well as access the existing ones to edit and move them across the pipe. The start form can only access the pipe start form to create new cards. The restricted view, which is the one we're using here, that can create new cards but is only allowed to view or edit cards that were created by or assigned to him. This is very useful because you can set this up so that each sales rep can only access their own opportunities. It's important that we keep all the opportunities in a single pipe, because that way we can create reports that gather all the information in our sales pipeline, and you can choose the restricted view so that people can only view their information and the pipe isn't cluttered with opportunities from other salespeople. And we also have the read-only permission that allows users to view all cards and comment on them. So if we only have the manager as an admin and all others as a restricted view, it makes it easier for the manager to see the big picture, and it also makes it easier for each person to see their own opportunities without getting lost with other people's opportunities or being able to edit them accidentally. When I open this card, you can see that we have two activities. So we have, there you go, you can see that we have two different activities linked to this pipe. The reason why we keep all activities for both sales and customer success in the same activities pipe is that it makes it easier to keep track of the amount of calls, meetings, etc. done by each team, and it also removes the need for having tons of different activities pipes. So we're just making this structure more compact. You guys can see here that we have a field that doesn't look like the others. It's the attachment field. It's currently in a view we call minimal view. When we click on it, it opens the field. You can set fields to have minimal view by opening the field settings. And it's very useful when you have fields that are not mandatory. So you can use the minimal view to make your phase smaller and more compact and not cluttering it with tons of different fields. This feature is especially helpful for making it easier for people to see the entire form or see the entire phase without having to roll down the screen because there are so many fields in a specific phase or start form. Now that we've gone over the main pipe features, I'm going to show you guys some reports we've set up previously for this pipe. I'm going to show you guys two different reports. The first one encompasses the value of all opportunities currently in the proposal phase, and the second one is a bit more elaborate. It encompasses only the deals that were closed by a specific salesperson in a specific period of time. The first one, value in proposal, is really easy. We just choose here current phase is proposal, and when we chose to display the field deal value, since it's a number field, it offers us the possibility of adding up all fields, so the sum of them, but we can also choose the average value, the minimum, or the maximum. It's very good to have this specific feature because it helps us clearly visualize the total amount of opportunities in a specific phase of our pipeline. The other report is a bit more complex, so we chose to display both deal value and amount closed so that we can know the difference between what was proposed and what was the amount closed. And we filtered by assignee. So we chose assignee is Isabel. And the first time it entered the one phase was during the current month. And that's it. Now we're going to go back to the Kanban view. And we're going to take this card, the craft card. I've already added the final outcome, which is 1, and the amount closed. So we're going to move it to the one phase. Now we're going to move on from the sales pipeline to the basic customer onboarding. But before we show you that, I'm going to show you guys the automation we've used to create it. So the automation is this one, new connected card in customer onboarding. So we specified that whenever a card is moved in the sales pipeline to the phase 1, we're going to create a new connected card in the customer onboarding pipe with this specific setup. So we took all the information from the sales pipeline, the company name, the contact email, and the value of the contract, which is the same as the amount closed. So that whenever we moved a card to the end of the sales pipeline, the best end of it, it's going to automatically create a new card here. So you can see that we have the card it's connected to. Now we're going to set up a person in charge of it. It's going to be Ricardo. Determine that the sales contract is validated, the briefing, the relevance of this customer, and the first meeting date. So it's going to be in a week. And we're going to move it to the welcome phase. Before I show it to you guys, I'm going to open the settings for this phase so I can show you guys the email template we've set up. We've created an automated email. You can see here the welcome email to be sent whenever cards enter this phase. And it's very simple. It's when setting up an email template, all you have to do is choose the template you've created previously. We've chose to add the assignee name and assignee email to make it more personal so that your own customer success manager will sign the email. And the email we're going to send it to is we generated the dynamic content. So phase is the start form and the field is contact email. We just added it here so that whenever a card enters the welcome phase, this email is going to be automatically sent to the email we've added to the start form. This is the welcome email. It's really simple, but we've added some personalized fields. So these are all dynamic content values. So it grabs the name of the person as well as the company name, and it signs with customer success team and the name of the organization. So it will be demo company, new date. You can see now here that once we move the card to the welcome phase, it automatically sent the email template. So you can see here that the welcome email was sent in November 30th in phase welcome at 5:36 p.m., which is our local time here. In the basic customer onboarding pipe, it's relevant for us to have reports for each of our customer success managers. So we're going to open this one here that mentions Ricardo's account, and generating this report is really easy. We just filtered by the assignee, and then it's going to show all of Ricardo's accounts in the name of the company, the phase they're currently in, the contact name within the company, contact email, and the value of the contract. And last but not least, I'm going to show you guys the team activities pipe. So this is what it looks like. It has a whole lot of cards, and all of them are connected to a parent card. You can see here that it says Dell. So this task is connected to the Dell account, the Dell card in the sales pipeline. The reason why we chose to log all of the sales and customer success tasks in a single pipe is that we can generate all sorts of reports in a single screen. So we have here the sales meetings, CS calls, and sales calls. We filtered by cards created during the current month. The action is meeting because we only want to see sales meetings, and then the area is sales. So this report shows us the sales meetings that happened during the current month. The same goes for CS meetings, except that we've changed the area to customer success. And calls, we chose the type of activity. The action is call, and same thing for the sales. The last thing I'm going to show you guys is real quick. We're going to access here the contact database, the database settings, so table setting, and I'm going to come in here into the advanced options. And you guys can see that we've set the summarized layout to be email, phone number, and company. So whenever this record is mentioned within a card or another record, you can go back to the database here, and you can see that it displays the contacts, email, phone number, and company as we've set up here. I'd like to thank everyone for joining us today, and thank you guys and have a great day.